Hello guys, welcome once again. In the last video I have shown you how to design a database for your ASP.NET website page. So we already made our registration page and we already made a database for this registration page. Now in this video I will show you how to connect this registration page with the database. So whenever some user registers, it goes into the database, his all data goes into the database, and the manager should be able to manager of the website, I mean to say, should be able to see all the data or all the user registration data. So let's get started. So we have this button which we have designed in our previous videos. So just click this and double click it and we reach to the button click event, and in here we have a code which is already there. So the code, there is code for page load and there is code for button click. So just go to this page load function or method, and here we will write, first of all I will write if, and in the bracket I will write here is post back. Okay, and inside your if bracket just write, so we need to connect our registration form with our database. So I will write SQL connection. So you see here it's showing some error while I am writing SQL connection. So that means I need to import some user namespaces. So write using system dot data dot SQL client. This will provide all the classes of the SQL, and we will also write using system dot configuration. Okay, so just add these two namespaces to your code, and then let's try it once again. SQL connection, now it comes. Okay, so I'll write SQL connection and I write con is equal to new SQL connection, and in the bracket I will pass my new SQL connection. Okay, and in the bracket just write configuration manager. So search for configuration manager here, and then write dot connection strings with S here, and then give a square bracket. Okay, and in this square bracket we will pass our connection string name, which we have already designed in the manager ASPX page. So in the last video I have shown you how to design this manager and how to link your database with your this table. Okay, so in here just go to this SQL source registration, and in here go to the property. So select this source registration and go to the property and search for the property called expressions, and just click this button here. And last time we have given this name to our connection string, registration connection string, right? So I will copy this string from here and I will go to my registration.aspx.cs and I will pass this registration string here. Okay, so this we have defined in the last video, if you remember. and after this square bracket I will write the dot connection string. Okay, so once this is done, now in the next line we will write our query. So first of all, let's open the connection. So write con dot open, and we also make con dot close. So whenever you pass a query, or whenever you want to execute a query, you need to open the connection with the database, and after the execution of the query you need to close the database. So it's good to remember that whenever you open the database you need to close it, otherwise there may be problems while executing other queries. Okay, and in between this open and close we are going to write our query. So what we will write here, I will declare a string, and I will write check user, for example, is equal to, and I will pass a string, or I will construct a string or query. So I will write here select. This is a query language which we are writing for this database. Okay, so we have this database. So we have created this database called registration.mdf, and we have already created this user data table here, right? So in here I will write select count, and I will pass stars. So this will count. Let me finish the query and then I will explain what I mean. So select count, and in the bracket star, from your table name, which is user data. See here, this is our table name, user data. So I will write user data, and then write a clause. So write where your username. So this is our username column. So I will write username is equal to, and then after this double quote I will provide two single quotes, and in between I will provide two double quotes, and in between I will provide plus plus, and then I will write the name of the text box. Okay, so this double quote should be at the end, right? Now this plus sign will appear black. Okay, so just remember this format here, and in here I will write the name of my text box, which is for username. So username text box was text box un. So I will write text box un dot text. Okay, so once I have done that, my query is constructed. So this query selects count from my table, which is user data, where my username is this I'm checking whether my this new username is already there in the database or not, and if it's already there I will warn the user that he should enter some other username, because two username cannot be same, right? So we have constructed our query, and in the next line we will write SQL command and give it object name com, for example, and is equal to new SQL command, and in the bracket of we will pass two argument. First will be this query string, so this is the query we are passing as a first argument, and second argument is the SQL connection. Okay, so this is the second argument. Now I will declare a temporary variable. So write int temp is equal to, and then I will write convert dot two int 32, and in the bracket I will write here this variable com. So I will copy this SQL command here, dot execute scalar dot two strings. So first of all, let me give this bracket, and then I will write two string and then bracket once again. Okay, so once this temp variable is done, then in the next line we will write if this temp is equal to 1, then we will say that response, so we will write response dot write, and in here we will write or show the message that user already exists. So if this temp is equal to 1, then we will write here user already exists. Okay, so this all code will check if the user already exists or not, and if it exists already, then it will show the message that user already exists and you cannot save the new user with the same username. Now this is in the page load function. Okay, remember that. And in the button click event here, which is for the submit my button click event, I will just copy this code once again from SQL connection to the connection close till connection close here. So just copy this all the code. I'm copying this to save some time, and I will paste all the code in this submit button click event. Remember, we double click the submit button, and here we will paste all the code, and we don't need this response dot write your registration is successful. Just remove it from here, and this connection will be same. So we are connected to the same connection string, so this connection should be same, connection open should be same, and connection close should be same. And this temp and checking for the user will go, so I will just delete this, and all this connection variable declaration then connection open will be same as above. And in this string we are going to change the query. So this time this is the insert query, so I will write string insert query, and I will change the query a little from here. So what I will write here, I will write the query which is insert into the database name, my database name, not the database name but the table name. So my table name is user data. You can see here in the solution explorer my database, and this is my table name which is user data. So I'll write user data, insert into user data, and then I will write what I want to insert in the user data. So I want to insert into user data username, email, password, and country, right? So just copy the column name of all these columns: username, email, password, and country. This here was also the name of your columns if you don't understand here. So I will write username comma email comma password comma country. Okay, these all four field. This ID we will leave it, or we will not insert for now, because we don't have any field for ID. In the coming video, I will show you how to generate a unique ID and then insert into your database. But for now, just we are going to insert username, email, password, and country. And then after this, write values, and in the bracket we will assign the values. So for example, I will write @ and you can write you name, just give your own version of names, and then I will write @email, and then third is @password, and the fourth is @country. Okay, so I have written this, and this name is not necessarily this is your defined variables which we are going to use. Okay, so once you have done that, and then what we do here, we will copy this query and pass it here in this. So now it's not showing any error, and after this, or I should have done it earlier, we need to catch and try this, catch the error or exception if any occurs. So we will write try, and we will enclose all the code and try and catch exception. So if any exception occur, it should catch it, catch, and then give this, and in the catch pass the argument exception ex, and you can show the message, or you can write response dot write, and in the bracket you can pass, you can say error, and then write plus ex dot message. Okay, now, or instead of this message, just write ex dot toString. Okay, now in here what we will do, after this query or command, SQL command we have made or passed, we will execute the query, right? So just copy this com SQL command object, and then write dot parameters dot add with value, and just we will pass two arguments here. First is this argument, which is @username, and the second argument would be, this will be in double quote first of all, and the second argument would be our text box from which we are taking the values. So first text box was username, so text box username dot text. Okay, so just write this, and in the same way I will copy this 4 times, because we have 4 text boxes, and I will just copy these fields. Second was @email, third was @password, and the fourth was @country. Just copy it, and these all text boxes also we need to change this. So the second text box name was text box email, so just replace it here. Third text box was text box password, so text box pass it here, and fourth was our drop down menu, I beg your pardon. So just copy the name of the drop down menu and go here, and in front of the country just delete this, and we will write drop down menu dot selected item dot toString. Okay, so now once we are done with all this, we just need to execute our query. So we will write com dot execute non-query. Okay, and just close it. And in the next line you can show some message that your registration is successful. So just I will copy this register response dot write, and in here I will write registration is successful. Okay, and you can redirect your response to the other page also. So for just for demonstration I'm showing you this. So write response dot redirect, and in here just pass the name of your manager.aspx which we have made in the last video. So just write manager.aspx, right? In the coming video we will replace this manager.aspx with a new page called login page, but since we don't have this page right now, we will create it in the next video. So just we for testing reasons just replace this by manager.aspx. Now I think our code is done. Let's try and run the program and let's see what happens. So I will click this button to run my program, and we will go to our new registration page here. Yes, it has opened and it's taking some time. So our registration is started, page is started, right? So let's create a new user. So write mark, which is new user, and then email ID xyz@gmail.com is okay for now. Password 12345, confirm password 12345, select the country USA for example, and I say submit, and it's showing me some errors. It's showing me invalid object name user data. So by seeing this I should know that something is wrong with this or near this user data. So I will go here once again. I will stop my program and I will see here, yes, this user data is spelled wrong. This user has this little umlaut over it, so I will write simple user. Okay, so the spelling of user data was wrong. So once again I will run the program, and it runs. Mark the email ID and the password 12345, repeat password 12345, country was USA, and I will submit. And now you can see the database, the new user is registered with a data called mark and his email ID, password, and the country. Let's register once again a new user. So for example I will run my program once again, and I will write Carl, email ID abc@yahoo.com, Password is 11111, confirm, and then the country is France, for example, and I have submitted, and you can see it already is there. It's already in the database. Okay, ℒ𝕠𝕕𝕚𝕝@yahoo.com, and password and the country. So now you have successfully connected your registration form with the database. Now in the next video I will show you how to create a login page, so that whenever user already registered want to log into your website, he enters his username and data or password, and he can access authorized web pages.